Hello students, I am Ms. Shah from Kankoli College, Kankoli. In the previous lecture, we have studied about the organisms, how they respond to the abiotic factors, that is by regulate, confirm, then migration and suspend. In today's lecture, we will study about the adaptation of an organism to the habitat, how they adapt to the different habitats. Now, to cope up with extreme variations in the environment, some organisms respond through physiological adjustments while others do so behaviorally, like migration. Now, there are adaptation means how an organism fits into other habitat to reproduce itself. That is adaptation. Therefore, we can say that adaptation is an attribute of the organism, morphological, physiological, and behavioral, that enables the organism to survive and reproduce in its habitat. Now, first we'll see the morphological adaptation. How an organism, morphological means structural adaptation, that is how it makes changes in its body, or that is in plants and animals. Different adaptations takes place in their body. So first we'll see the morphological adaptation. The morphological adaptation, many desert plants have a thick cuticle on the leaf surfaces and have the stomata in the deep pits to minimize loss of water through transpiration. As you know that many desert, or that is dry plants, or we can say xerophytic plants, they have the thick cuticle present on the leaves, that is a waxy coating is present. That waxy coating is present to prevent the loss of water, that is so that as they are present in the dry conditions in the desert areas, they have to prevent the loss of water. So that waxy coating, it helps to prevent the loss of water. So a thick cuticle is present on the leaf surfaces, and they have the stomata in the deep pits, so they will minimize the loss of water. As if the stomata are present on the surface of the leaf, this more loss of water takes place through transpiration process. Transpiration, that is loss of water in the form of water vapors. So as the stomata are present in the deep pits, it minimizes the loss of water. So these are the adaptations which are present in the desert plants, that is the morphological or structural adaptation we can say. Then second we can see is the physiological adaptation. Now physiological adaptation, they also have a special photosynthetic pathway, that is the desert plants, whether that is a dry plants, they have a special photosynthetic pathway that is called as a CAM, crassulacean acid metabolism pathway, that enables the stomata to remain closed during daytime. CAM means it is a different pathway which is available for desert plants or dry plants, because in normal plants which we see, in those plants photosynthesis takes place during the day, or transpiration process takes place during the day, as the stomata are open during the day in those plants. But in desert plants, the stomata are present during the daytime, and this that is the stomata are closed during the daytime and they are open during the night time. So their stomata are active during the night time. So that occurs in the CAM pathway, that is crassulacean acid metabolism, and this CAM pathway takes place in desert plants. So that is the physiological adaptation which takes place in the desert plants or dry plants. Then again the morphological adaptation, some desert plants like opuntia means in Marathi it is called as nivdunga. This Opuntia plant have their leaves reduced to spines, and the photosynthetic function is taken over by the flattened stems. This you have studied in the 11th standard, that Opuntia is the plant which is it is like a cactus plant. It is a spiny plant. Spiny means they do not have the leaves present on their body. The leaves are reduced to spines. Leaves are modified into spines, and that is as we see the global structure which is present, that is the phylloclades which are present. They are nothing but they are the stem, and as they are green in color, they perform the photosynthetic function of leaves. So leaves are reduced into spines to reduce the rate of transpiration, because if the leaves are present, transpiration will take place, that is loss of water will take place. And these plants are the desert plants. They should have to store the water for longer period, as they do not get water for longer periods. So these desert plants, that is like Opuntia, cactus, they have spines on their body. That is, spines are the modified leaves to reduce the loss of water or to reduce the transpiration process. Then next morphological adaptation is from the colder climatic conditions. The mammals from colder climates generally have shorter snout, ears, tail, and limbs to minimize the loss of body heat. If you observe the organisms from the colder climates, they generally have a shorter snout, and also they have short or small pinnas, that is external ears. Tail is very short. Also limbs, that is forelimbs and hind limbs, they are very shorter. Now why they have all these shorter morphological structures or shorter extremities? That is only to reduce the body heat, or only to minimize the loss of body heat. Or if they have the larger ear, they will release air, or they will release the body heat in more amount. So to reduce that is the heat in less amount, because as they are present in the colder climates, they have to minimize the loss of body heat. They should conserve the body heat. So to conserve the body heat, they have the shorter snout, ears, tail, and limbs to minimize the loss of body heat. And this is the Allen's rule, that is to have the shorter snout, ears, tail, and limbs to minimize the loss of body heat in the mammals of the colder climates. Then next morphological adaptation example we can see in the polar areas, that is in the aquatic mammals. We have seen the seals. Seals, they have the thick layer of fat below their skin, acting as an insulator to reduce the loss of body heat. This that is the seals are the aquatic mammals which are present in the polar seas. They have a thick layer of fat, and that thick layer of fat, it is called as a blubber, and it acts as an insulator to reduce the body heat. So because as they are present in the polar areas, they have to conserve the body heat. So to conserve the body heat, they have a fatty layer inside the skin, that is called as a blubber, and it reduces the loss of body heat. That is the morphological adaptation which is present in the seals. Then we'll see the behavioral adaptation. In behavioral adaptation, you must have heard about the desert lizard. Desert lizard manage to keep their body temperature fairly constant by behavioral adaptations. Now, how it managed to keep their body temperature by behavioral adaptation? They bask in the sun and absorb heat, because these organisms, they are present in the desert areas, and as there is a desert area, they have high temperature present there. And when there is high temperature, when the body temperature is low, they come in the sun and absorb heat. And when the body temperature drops, below the comfort zone. They move into shade when the ambient temperature starts increasing. That means when the body temperature starts increasing, they come into the shade. That means when their body temperature becomes lesser, they come into the sun and absorb heat, and when they absorb heat, they get hotter, and when they get hotter, they go into the shade and take that is the shadow. Some species burrow into the sand to hide and escape from the heat. Some organisms from the desert area, they escape from the heat by burrowing into the sand. I hope you have understood the topic, that is the adaptation, that is by morphological, behavioral and physiological adaptations which are present in desert plants, desert animals, or plants and animals. Thank you.